In a distant kingdom, Princess Alina was known for her kindness, but behind the palace walls, she often felt invisible. One rainy evening, she found a small, shivering puppy by the castle gates. Without hesitation, she brought him inside and named him Shadow. As they grew together, Shadow became her closest friend, always by her side during long, lonely days. One day, during a grand festival, Alina felt overwhelmed by the crowd. Shadow sensed her fear and gently nudged her away to a quiet garden. In that moment, Alina realized something powerful. True companionship isn't about grand gestures, it's about presence, loyalty, and love. From then on, Shadow wasn't just her pet, he was her protector, her comfort, and her reminder that even the smallest friends can make the biggest difference.
Ella and Zoe had been best friends for years, but after a huge argument, they stopped speaking. Months later, Zoe reached out to apologize, and Ella forgave her. They resumed their friendship, and things seemed to be back to normal. However, Ella began to notice strange behavior. Zoe was acting overly nice, bringing gifts and always agreeing with her. After a few weeks, Ella discovered that Zoe had been secretly trying to win her back to hide a secret. Zoe had been responsible for the argument in the first place, but she had tried to manipulate Ella into believing she was always in the wrong. Ella realized that forgiveness doesn't mean letting someone take advantage of you. Forgiveness is important, but it must be paired with honesty and awareness of the true dynamics of a friendship.
A poor woodcutter named Thomas lived in a small cottage by the forest. One day, while chopping down a tree, his axe slipped and fell into the river. Distraught, he sat by the bank, knowing he could not afford a new axe. Suddenly, a spirit appeared, holding a golden axe and offering it to Thomas. But Thomas refused, saying it wasn't his. The spirit then offered a silver axe, and Thomas again declined. Finally, the spirit brought forth his rusty iron axe, and Thomas gladly accepted. Impressed by his honesty, the spirit rewarded him with all 3 axes. This shows us honesty is always rewarded, even in difficult situations.
When David turned 18, his father handed him a worn-out pocket watch. "This is yours now," he said. David frowned. "It's just old. Why not something new?" His father smiled. "This belonged to my father. Every scratch marks a moment, hard work, tough decisions, sacrifices for family. It doesn't tell time, it tells a story." Years later, as David became a father, he polished the watch and passed it to his son. Remember, value isn't in how shiny something is, but in the legacy it carries. Family is not about things, it's about the stories and lessons passed from one generation to the next. 2 friends, Alex and Ryan, set out to hike a treacherous trail. Along the way, they reached an old rope bridge swaying over a deep canyon. Alex hesitated, fear gripping him. "Come on," Ryan called, already halfway across. "I can't," Alex shouted, frozen in place. Ryan smiled and walked back. "We'll go together," he said, holding out his hand. Slowly, step by step, they crossed the bridge. When they reached the other side, Alex breathed a sigh of relief. "Thanks, I couldn't have done it alone." Ryan laughed. "That's what friends are for." Years later, when Ryan faced his own fears starting a new life in a strange city, it was Alex who encouraged him. Their friendship wasn't about who led or followed, it was about always being there when the other needed strength. True friends, Alex realized, are the bridges that carry us across life's challenges.